are back again, and today we will be discussing Kanye West and the Ye album. Right, we're gonna be discussing the Ye album, 2018, Kanye West. Right, this album is overlooked. I think it's overlooked by a lot of people. When the album came out, it was around a lot of controversy. Kanye was dealing with a lot at this time. He had getting a lot of backlash from the black community when he said that slavery was a choice, right? That was a lot of the controversy that was surrounding this album, right? And I think that's what part of the reason why many people decided to kind of like shun this album, right? And but we're gonna take a deeper look into this album because it's an album that I always appreciated, and it also has my favorite Kanye West song on it, right? One of my favorite Kanye West songs, which is Ghost Town, is on this album, and I think uh, this album is worth discussing and breaking down. It's an album that we can actually decode, and that's what we're going to do right now, right? So first, to decode this album, we need to look at a classic for all my horror fans, right? Classic horror fans, Scorpio, right? We love the dark energy. Um, you have to look at the Stanley Kubrick film The Shining, right? And we're gonna tie the Shining film into the Ye album, right? Because they are connected. Whether you know it or not, this film and this album are very, very connected. And we're gonna display that right now, right? So in the film The Shining, the main character or our protagonist slash antagonist is Jack. Who is Jack? If for those that haven't seen the film, Jack is a author who has a family, but he's in a failing marriage that is on the brinks. Right? He's fighting for his family. Right? So when the film starts, Jack is fighting for his family. Right? He's not been the best husband up to now. Right? He's at times been abusive towards his own child and towards his own wife, right? So, but his wife is giving him mercy, right? So, um, you this is where the film starts, right? With a author who is trying to fight for his marriage, but dealing with depression and bipolar and schizophrenic and all of these inner demons, right? But he gets the opportunity to go work at a hotel, and it's called the Overlook Hotel, right? And the Overlook Hotel is in isolation, right? It's in isolation, and it's in the middle of nowhere, right? So, but it's an old luxury hotel in the middle of nowhere, and it's in isolation. But when Jack gets this opportunity to go oversee this hotel, right? Uh, he finds it an opportunity for him to uh, get into his author bag as far as trying to write his next novel, right? And also have a clean slate as far as trying to have a new beginning with his family, right? This is a time for him to try to get closer to his family and begin a new journey, right? Maybe he can put all the problems in the past, right? And channel a new novel, right? So that's where that film starts. And when you look at the Ye album in 2018, right, Kanye is not an author, but Kanye is an artist, right? He's an artist who is also in a failing marriage that is on the brinks. And he's fighting for his family, and he decides to create this album in isolation, right? And instead of having an overlook hotel, Kanye buys a nice luxury hotel in the middle of nowhere in isolation in Wyoming, right? So you see those parallels right there, right? Jack and Kanye West are both in hotels in the middle of nowhere, fighting for their marriage, right? That's what they're fighting for. And Kanye wants to create a new album. Jack wants to create a new novel, but at the same time, they want to also create a new start with their family, right? So they're fighting for their family. And 2018, let's set the setting. Like I say, at this time, Kanye is dealing with a lot. He's trying to save his family. His family is having a public, you know, dispute. You seeing pictures of Kim K and Kanye arguing in vehicles, right? And people are saying that the relationship may be breaking up, and that Kanye wants his family, but he got to do this, and he may be dealing with addiction, and all these things are going on. And then at the same time, Kanye is being have getting pushed back from the black community because Kanye had just came out on TMZ and said that slavery was a choice, right? And now people are looking into Kanye like, what's going on with Kanye, right? So Kanye wants to create an album for Tiana Taylor, Pusha T, uh, himself, and I want to say Kid Cudi, and also Nas, right? He wants to create all these albums at this time. Each track will have seven songs on the album, right? But we're going to focus with the Ye album as of now, and that's the first parallel that we see. Jack and Kanye, one is an author, so both are writers, both in failing marriages that deal with abuse and addiction, and both are trying to fight for their family, right? So that's our first parallel. And if you even look at Jack's wife in the film, Shelley Duvall, actress Shelley Duvall, even though she's not dolled up in this film, right? She was a beautiful woman in her prime. She was a beautiful woman. R.I.P. to Shelley Duvall. I think she just passed a couple years back, but she was a beautiful woman, right? And in the film, her name is Wendy, right? And if you really look into it, right, you may see it as a reach, but she has very, very similar features to Kanye West's wife at the time, which was Kim Kardashian, right? The black hair. And I just see like an angle of another parallel that we find as Wendy's wife um, represents Kim Kardashian, right? Which is Kanye's wife. And she's dealing with a man, an author, a writer who is also battling addiction and inner demons, right? And she's giving him mercy. In the film, Wendy always gives Jack mercy, even though she says that Jack is abusive towards the son and towards her at times. She's still giving him mercy. And what is mercy? Mercy is undeserved kindness, right? Now, Jack was, again, bipolar, schizophrenic in the film. It didn't say that, but you could read through the lines, right? Now, he was abusive towards his wife, and even before he got to the hotel, he's abusive towards his wife. And it's a scene where the son, Danny, is looking at him in the car as if he sees the demons that are on Jack. So even before they get to the hotel, because a lot of people say, "Oh, well, the hotel is what made the Overlook Hotel is what made Jack turn into this monster," right? They're not realizing that Jack already was a monster even before he got to the Overlook Hotel. But the Overlook Hotel uh, does a great job of bringing out your inner demons that you try to fight and hide, right? But if you look at the car picture, the car scene where Danny, Wendy, and Jack are in the car on the way to the Overlook Hotel, Danny is looking at Jack in a way that he sees the inner demons, right? And we always deal with the kids see ghosts, right? Kids see ghosts. So that's one thing that we have to look at also. Again, Wendy knows that Jack is like this, but she loves him so much and she's giving him mercy. Again, mercy is undeserved kindness, right? Uh, the Overlook Hotel is a place that brings out your darkest inner ghosts, right? It brings out your inner ghosts. And that's what happens to Jack in this film. His darkest inner ghosts are highlighted when he gets to this hotel, right? So as he gets to this hotel, Overlook Hotel, thinking that he will find peace, right? Everywhere you go, there you are, right? So your demons follow, which his demons followed him to the hotel, and this hotel just happens to be a place that even brings out more and more of Jack's demons as he stays longer, right? Um, so let's start here. Uh, at the hotel one night, Wendy wakes Jack up from a nightmare, right? He's having a nightmare, and when she wakes him up, he tells her that his nightmare was about a vision of him unaliving her and his son, right? Going mad and unaliving her and his son. And if you look at the intro to the Ye album, right? He says, "I had a dream about killing you last night." That's what he said, right? This indicates a frustrated man fighting for his wife, right? But also struggling with depression and bipolar disorder, like Jack, right? And using vices like alcohol and pill addiction to get through, right? So the first intro to the song is "Last Night I Dreamed About Killing You," right? And that's what Kanye starts off his album with. That's a parallel because that's what Jack tells Wendy. I had a dream last night that I unalived you, right? In the sun. Now the second track we moved to Yikes, right? That's the second track on Kanye's Ye album. And that was a song about uh him finally accepting his dark side, his inner demons, his battles with being faithful, right? His lust addiction, his battle with addiction, a battle with all his inner demons, right? This is the song Yikes. This is what the song Yikes represents, right? If you listen to the lyrics, Kanye says that he admits in this song, well, this is my bipolar. This is me being at my bipolar. I am what y'all saying I am. I am having all these issues, right? And that's similar to Jack in the film, right? Jack at the bar realizing that, you know what? Maybe I am crazy, right? Jack is dealing with all his inner demons, right? As he's at the bar drinking, right? He's drinking at the bar and he's starting to realize that he deals with these inner demons, and that's just his first sign of accepting that he does have inner demons and addiction, and he does um at times want to harm his wife, right? And she could get menacing, frightening. Sometimes I scare myself. If you notice, if you know the Kanye joint, so I know I ain't got the harmonizing like Kanye, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's him saying that, he's sometimes he's scaring his own self. And right in the film, Jack is scaring himself, and you could see it like when he wakes up from that dream, and he's starting to at the bar, he's starting to realize that, man, I'm a dark dude, right? My inner demons, I'm being forced to deal with them, and this hotel is making me deal with these inner demons, right? Um, he has a lust addiction, right? So on the song "All Mine," Kanye deals with his lust addiction, right? His love for the models and the beautiful women. Kanye loves the models. He loves the beautiful women, right? He has his type, right? And this song deals with that, right? That the spirit of the lust addiction, the spirit of having a wife and still wanting other women, right? And in room 237, right? Room 237, this is a classic scene, right? In the horror genre. While in a hallucination, he sees a beautiful naked woman in a bathtub, right? And he's attracted to her, obviously, right? Now, this is the temptation. This is the lust addiction temptation, right? His wife is in the house. Although he's hallucinating, his wife is in the house, and the woman gets out of the bathtub naked, and she walks up to Jack, and instead of Jack pushing her away or telling her he's married or whatever, even though this is a hallucination, Jack begins to try to hold her, caress her, and even kiss her, right? Uh, but she turns into a corpse, right? As he's kissing her, she begins to turn into a corpse. But that shows you right there that he gave in to the lust addiction right there, right? He's trying to he wasn't able to push the temptation away. So Jack has demons, and some type of resentment of his wife, right? He's not happy with his wife for whatever reason, and this addiction is, what he says he wants to save the family. At the same time, he's still doing things to put the family at risk, right? And the reason we need to look into that character whose name was Lorraine in the bathtub. The reason this is so deep. Now pay attention, right? Follow me. She died in a bathtub in the film. She died in a bathtub at the Overlook Hotel, right? Many years ago, right? So I didn't say the setting, but for those that know, this is a haunted hotel, right? Uh, on native land where natives were slaughtered in the past, right? But now on top of it is a luxury hotel, and everybody that comes to this hotel, uh, many dark things have happened to them because they had to battle their inner demons, right? And many have given in to them, right? So this lady Lorraine, who was in the bathtub, she represented that spirit, that haunted spirit, right? Because she died in a bathtub at the Overlook Hotel many years ago, overdosing. Get this, overdosing in the bathtub on sleeping pills, and now she haunts it. I'm gonna run it back. She died in a bathtub at the Overlook Luxury Hotel many years ago, overdosing in the bathtub on sleeping pills, right? This is who Jack encountered. Now, this is important because Kanye at the time also created the Pusha T album, right? Seven songs also, right? And he paid 85,000, which I personally feel like it was disrespectful to Queen Whitney, right? But he paid 85,000 to purchase Whitney Houston's photos of her death scene of cigarettes and pills and drugs. So Kanye post paid 85,000 to purchase Whitney Houston's photos of her death scene hotel, right? For Pusha T's album cover. And how did Whitney die? Whitney died similar to Lorraine in the film, right? Whitney died the same way. She overdosed in a bathtub at a luxury hotel. That's a parallel. Did you get that? That's a parallel, right? So it was important for Kanye to pay 85,000, even if that didn't match his album. It will go on Pusha T's album, right? Which also ties into Kubrick's character Lorraine in the bathtub scene, who overdosed on pills in a luxury hotel inside of a bathtub, like our legendary Whitney Houston, right? So that's another parallel. So let's move to the next song, right? We have a song called Wouldn't Leave by Kanye. And this song symbolizes his wife's loyalty to him, right? Again, Kim K was loyal to a fault, just like Wendy. She's dealing with a bipolar, schizophrenic, crazed man, right? Who's losing himself, dealing with all these inner demons and his inner battles, right? But and even though he told her to leave in the song, Kanye say, "I told her to leave, but she wouldn't go." Right? That symbolizes that Kanye, um, just like in the film part itself, just like in the film, Jack, you know, he's done all of these bad things, but Wendy, she still loves him despite his flaws. He literally has to turn into an axe murderer to try to get her away from him, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, right? So next song, No Mistakes. Kanye is saying how, despite his abusive behavior and crazy bipolar personality, he still loves his wife and his family, right? Just like Jack. Jack still loved his wife and his family, right? He still loved them, and he was at times selfish. He wanted to have his cake and eat it too, right? Battling with his own inner demons. Battling with his own inner demons. And before we get into these next two tracks, I want you to take a look at the album cover, right? The album cover where the you see the mountains covered in snow, right? Also, when you look at Wyoming, you also see the same background. See the same background, right? Of the Kanye album cover. So that's another parallel. Now we're gonna get into my favorite Kanye song ever, right? And it's called Ghost Town, right? Ghost Town, him and Kid Cudi, right? Kid Cudi, Kid see ghosts, right? So now we're looking at Danny, right? And that's Jack's son, Danny. So this song symbolizes a couple things. In the film, Danny is Jack's son, right? As I told you before. And Danny sees the ghost inside the hotel also, right? So Danny has inner ghosts and he sees ghosts, right? Now Wendy never gets to see him. Now in the film, it says that Wendy was too strong to penetrate, right? Wendy was too strong to penetrate. However, Jack sees the inner demons and the ghosts, right? That's inside the hotel. Uh, and I would also say that my guess would be that the reason that the inner ghosts weren't able to, uh, you know, infiltrate Wendy's spirit was because Wendy was actually genuinely happy, right? She was actually genuinely happy, just like in the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? The father was actually happy, so it was hard. He didn't have to deal with the spirit of um, decision making and everything because he loved his life. I think Wendy was genuinely happy, and that's why she didn't have to deal with the inner demon. She loved her family, she loved her son, and she loved Jack, right? But Jack had his own inner demons because Jack always wanted more, right? Jack always wanted more, so Jack dealt with the inner demons, and Danny sees the ghosts just like Jack, but Danny sees them because kids see ghosts, right? It's always been a thing where kids can see ghosts, and so Danny's also having visions of the house similar to Jack, right? But it's just a different perspective. However, Danny does see the ghost also. And this is my favorite song of Kanye's ever at this moment, right? I mean, it can always switch between that, Runaway. Um, it's so many Kanye songs that I do love. But yeah, Kids See Ghosts, him and Kid Cudi, right? Which led to the title album, Kids See Ghosts, which this is Ghost Town. But this symbolizes seeing everything, all of the fights, So Danny's ghost is seeing his parents fight, right? Seeing the tension, seeing the anger. Kids see that, right? Kids see the inner demons that fathers and mothers battle with, right? We think the kids don't see everything, but they see everything. Kids see everything, you know what I mean? And those deal with that. That's Danny's ghost, right? Danny has his own ghost because of fear from what he's abused by his father. He's been abused by his father, so he has his own ghost. But he also has the ability to see ghosts, right? And he sees his father spiraling. He sees his father's inner demons, right? Um, and Kanye is dealing with his inner demons just like Jack again, and his kids are also witnessing his demons, right? His kids possibly witnessing his demons because kids again see uh the mom when you and the mom when you and your baby mom ain't getting into it, you and your old lady, you and your wifey is getting into it. The kids feel that tension. The kids see that, right? And another angle Kanye is dealing with this song is that Kanye sometimes just wish he could be a kid again, right? Kids, as we say all the time, the kids like the Buddha. The kid represents innocence, right? And Kanye just wants to be a kid again so he can be finally free. Kanye want to be free again, right? Where he can be free from the responsibilities and the stress and the ego and the pain, right? Kids are just carefree. So, yeah, Ghost Town is fire, man, and it deals with Danny, right? Danny is the kid who sees ghosts, right? He's seeing ghosts, and what else? What else could we see? Let me see what else we got. So Violent Crimes, which is the last song on the album, Violent Crimes, right? This song represents the Overlook Hotel being a place where many violent crimes took place, right? And it still haunts it. Like as I said before, this is a place where many natives were sacrificed at one time, right? And now it's been turned into a luxury hotel, and for the rich to come through, right? The rich come through and do some of the darkest things at these hotels, right? And in the middle of nowhere, right? This could represent, for some would say this could represent uh the Illuminati, right? A high society, elite society, right? That does things and does deals with behaviors that others, you know, have no idea what they're dealing with. When people say, like, "Oh, Will Smith and Jada, they be doing this," and a lot of rich people do a lot of wild stuff that a lot of people, haven't even tapped into. Like, you got to be rich to even get to that level where you dealing with that type of stuff. You just kind of seeing the peak of it when you look into this Diddy situation. You just seeing the peak of what really goes on, right? Or you look at the Epstein case, you're looking at peaks of what really goes on with the elite. At times with the elite, right? And so Jack is Jack is haunted in this hotel. His inner demons are finally taking over him. Right? He's fought them, but now they're finally taking over him. And in the end, Jack loses. He's not able to escape the Matrix. Right? Uh, Chasing his son. He's chasing Danny through the snow maze. Right? Through the snow maze, and he never gets to catch him. Right? That was a symbolism of him chasing his family, trying to save his family. Although he's chasing them with an axe, right? He's chasing them, but he's a madman. In the end, the hotel, which brings out his inner demons, have got the best of him, right? And even though Jack didn't want to lose his family, Jack ends up losing his family, and he dies all alone in the freezing cold, right? Not being able to escape his inner demons. In the song "Violent Crimes" for Kanye West, right? It's him realizing that he is losing his family, just like Jack, right? Uh, and he's losing it for good. So Kanye dedicates this song to his daughter, as if it's almost like a goodbye song, goodbye letter, as if he won't be around because he's losing the family. So please don't grow up too fast, right? Please don't do this, please don't do that to his daughter, right? Instead of Danny, it's his daughter, and he's fighting. He was fighting for her, and he doesn't feel like he's gonna make it, right? And he doesn't. He doesn't. We know in the both films, Jack loses his family. We know that his future now. Kanye ended up losing Kim and losing his family, right? And at the end of the film, so Jack is now part of the picture on the wall. He's part of the pictures on the wall as the you know the bartender at the hotel told him, right? Right. This is a place where some of the rich used to come and hang out and do all kind of wild things, right? And this is what's going on at this hotel. And Kubrick, when you deal with Kubrick, you're dealing with the esoteric in the film world, right? Kubrick deal with the esoteric in the film world, right? And many would say the Illuminati, right? So when you see Jack inside of the picture with all of the other people inside of the hotel, right, from the past, this will symbolize that the Illuminati has finally, he is Kanye has given in to the Illuminati, right? If you believe in that, right? I'm just speaking on it, you know what I mean? So Kanye has given in to the Illuminati. And when I say Illuminati, I mean in as far as devices that come with the success, the rich, the fame, the cult, the drugs. He's given in to it right now. Now he's part of everybody who lost everything. All the rich, successful people who have given in to the vices and the lifestyle, and they lost everything. They lost their family, and losing your family, right, is a violent crime to Kanye, right? So it's a violent crime, right? Um, the separated family is what has destroyed the black community, right? And that's a violent crime, right? So Kanye is very influenced by the great Stanley Kubrick, right? And so am I. I was always a Kubrick fan. So um, when I when I first heard the album after like the fourth listen, I started putting stuff together. And this happened years ago. I'm just now making a video on it, but many years ago I started putting it together. I'm like, yo, I think Kanye was heavily influenced to make this album, and it because I was watching The Shining one day, and I said, yo, this is the Ye album. This is the Ye album. I called my dog and I was telling him like, yo, this that he like, yo, nigga, what you talking about? I hung up on the nigga, you know what I'm saying? But now for real though, like I knew like this the Ye album. This the Ye album, man. It hasn't been confirmed, but I fully believe this is the Shining inspired the Ye album, right? And then because I later on I found out that Kanye is a big Kubrick fan, right? And for those that don't know, Kubrick was ill with the cinematography. Kubrick was ill with putting the esoteric messages into his film, although he tried to deny a lot of them. Right? He was gonna do the Napoleon. He was gonna do the Napoleon, right? Um, so even though Ridley Scott ended up doing it last year and it flopped, right? The reason why it flopped so heavy, outside of it just being just a decent movie anyway, was the expectations was made because Stanley Kubrick at one time was going to do the film, and he went and put so much into the film, studied so much on Napoleon Bonaparte, and had all this stuff. But for whatever reason, the studio wasn't able to give him the right funding, I believe, and for whatever reason, the film he wasn't able to make it. Right now, I put in a bid to get the book, right? The book, because they have the book. It's a nice book, and it held all of the information that Stanley Kubrick dug up, right, to create the Napoleon film, right. So it's a great book on that, right. I put in the bid for that. I've been trying to get my hands on that book. But the first time I tried to get it, it was the German version, right. So anyway, I'm off the subject, but anyway, um, so yeah, I'm a Kubrick fan, so I was able to see this, right. And before we go, I'm gonna hit you with another nugget, right. So when you watch the film, the song "Runaway" by Kanye, "Run away from me, baby. Why can't you just?" It's similar to The Shining, also, right? In the sense of Jack telling Wendy, like, just go away, yo. I'm bad for you, cause I'm a crazed man. You know what I mean? I can't be faithful, and I'm dealing with all these demons, right? Except this one is more tied into the film. Um, Eyes Wide Shut, right? You see, as you see Kanye in the suit with the piano, you know what I mean? That's homage to the opening scene, not the opening scene, but like the first scene where you see Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, right? They go to the Christmas party, and you see that right there the piano. The piano is playing, right. The guy on the piano with the suits on, right, and also that first piano key for the song is played all through Eyes Wide Shut, right. So Kanye was heavily influenced by Stanley Kubrick, right, and it's the same piano key. So um yeah, I thought it was important for us to like really build on that, right? You know what I mean? So, for those that didn't know, some people still don't like the Ye album. I think if you don't like the Ye album, I think you should at least appreciate the artistic element that went into the album, right? Because um, you have the right not to like it if you don't like it. However, the art and time that went into this album, I think that it's overlooked. Some people think, oh, this album was rushed and it was like that. Yo, this album was very, very strategic and very, very thought out. You know what I mean? But you just had to kind of be like into what Kanye was into at the time and what he was on, right? Right. And I hope that this breakdown was a way for you to appreciate the album, go back, check the album out. You know what I mean? Or even get into Stanley Kubrick. On that note, we out, man. Peace.